What's up? Black men must eat fruits and vegetables more than meat. Now, you're a black man trying to self improve and gain a grounded identity in being a black man. I have a deep dive guide on all the things of learning who to look up to in black history, eating healthier, becoming more financially literate, having a more calisthenics based workout, and also learning to come together with other black men on a week to week basis to self improve and gain a grounded identity in being a black man. If you're interested in that, the link for that will be in the bio section of my YouTube channel. So click on my channel, click right over there by the bio section. You'll see the link. Click on that, internalize that, and be the strongest version of yourself as a black man. I think one important thing that needs to happen within our culture and with black men is we have to embrace a more plant-based lifestyle, a more plant-based diet. And I think that there is a thing within black people, really, and I feel like that comes from white people where we prioritize meat. We think meat is more of a real food than fruits and vegetables. When you start looking at it though, you start to see that fruits and vegetables are basically superior when it comes to anti-aging and keeping disease away from you and keeping you healthy and strong. And meat is more on the side of it's sustainable and it's a lot of protein and that has benefits, but it's just not comparable. Like it's just not comparable to fruits and vegetables. And I think that we have to embrace fruits and vegetables not as a snack, not as a like a little small food that you can eat on. We need to take it just as serious and we need to treat that food just like any other, just like meat. We have to treat it like it's something, like it's a meal, like we can eat it to sustain ourselves, right? And I think that because I remember like growing up and I would tell my mom like we need to eat more fruits and vegetables, or I'll tell my parents and stuff like growing up and stuff, I would always get a reaction where we never considered fruits and vegetables to be like food, like real food. We always put that more in the category of that's a snack. That's something you snack on. That's not a real meal, right? And I understand we've put it in society like it's a thing that's not gonna sustain us all that much. But I think that's one of the problems we have when it comes to our health. The things that are healthy for us, we never put that as a staple. We never put that as a foundation. But the things that maybe don't offer as many benefits and it's more sustainable and it's less nutrient dense, because fruits and vegetables are more nutrient dense than meat is, right? And this is nothing. You don't have to be some type of expert in this. I'm definitely not no expert. It takes like some like minimal research to know that, right? And this is why when you look at the people in the blue zones and the people who live to 100 or more years old, like the centenarians, they mainly have a plant-based diet, right? And I'm not saying that we have to go hardcore, but I think that one good approach, one simple thing, one practical thing that we can start internalizing in our mentality is that fruits and vegetables are real food and it offers more benefits to our health than meat does. So that has to be internalized in us. So when we eat fruits and vegetables, we don't think in ourselves like this is a snack, this ain't real food. But the thing that's less healthy, we consider that more real and more, that's a meal to us, right? And me growing up, I had to understand that too. And I think that that's going to be a pivotal thing when it comes to black people becoming healthier. And that even I feel like we need to more focused type of medical institutions where black people get to specifically focus on their bodies and their health, because that's one thing we also don't see as much when it comes to the government in America, that a lot of stuff is really mixed in with white people being the standard when it comes to health problems and stuff like this and stuff and things like that. And we have to understand that we're not only different just by our skin color. We have a different nature when it comes to our mentality, and also our bodies are different. Our bodies are different throughout our history and the epigenetics of how we evolved and things, right? And when you start to look at it, black people also, black people, we were hunter gatherers as well, but I believe, and you can look like throughout history, we had a more diverse diet than Europeans, and Europeans were kind of disconnected to nature in a lot of ways, just because it was a cold environment, and they really focused more on meat as a healthy source of nutrition and food. And this is not a thing that I would say has to be separated. I feel like everybody should have a healthy diet, right? But I think in the black community, when we're trying to have the black man be the strongest version of himself and black people be the strongest version of themselves, we have to embrace the food that's actually going to be the best for us, and fruits and vegetables, a plant-based diet, that's going to be the best thing for us when it comes to our health. And really, science proves that. And it's just important that we put that as a staple and put that as a foundation in the black community. There's many things that we don't condition ourselves to be better. We don't have systematic things set up in our communities that's going to help us win, right? And this is beyond just school and education. This is character education. Those are the things that have to be set up. This is self-management education. Things that have to be set up for us to know how to take care of ourselves. And I believe that's one of the things that I lacked. And I don't blame my parents or anything like that, right? But and I don't and I, but I blame my environment, right? But and I know that it's up to me to create the life that I want now, right? But I understand that my childhood would have been significantly better, and my confidence in myself and my perception of myself would have been significantly different if we had a organization of black men who self-improved with each other, who taught each other, who loved each other, who are building in their communities outside of cooperation with the government. If I really had that growing up, I truly believe I would be so much farther in life, and I would just be at a better place in life. And I think that that's why we have to set up, not for one individual black man, but for the community of black men. Because when we have that, then our future is going to be secure. That we not only have a community, but we have a nation, that we have a country, that we have our own government, right? And it all starts back with the basics of conditioning us and putting in our mentality of what we should be feeding our body to be the strongest, right? And this isn't just a conditioning. This is actually based in facts and what's healthier for your body, right? And the more we can embrace that, the things that are naturally good for us, and we set that up in the community, and we set it up in the community, that's when we're gonna start seeing more healthy young men, more healthy young women, young black women and young black men. And we have a nature, or we have a culture around us winning and being the best version of ourselves and reinforcing that positivity. That's pretty much all I got to say. Peace out.